poop suitcase.
Hey, we're live.
There we go, live as we'll ever be.
Yeah.
How you doing? What's new? Where you been?
Oh, I've been stressing out at work. A little too much work. Kind of burnt out for a little bit, and that was why we didn't do an episode last week. Is because I ended up on last week, the week before. I ended up on night shift, and I did a 14-hour shift. That was great. I mean, a couple extra bucks, but it wasn't worth it.
No, it never is. It takes its toll, you know? And we're no spring chickens anymore.
No,
I used to
we're
be
not.
able to just bounce back and forth, but I don't think I could do it now as
Yeah,
easily.
I'm not a young night shift pup anymore. So
Well, good on you for committing to this one so soon after your night shift. I know it's a tough thing to do, but you made it.
oh, yeah, I made it. So. And of course, we had a couple of monsoons because we live in Alberta, and that's the way it is.
It's
For whatever
monsoon year.
reason, this monsoon year in Alberta, so that was kind of fun too, I guess. I don't know.
Every like fifth or sixth year, I think, is monsoon year.
Yeah, so we thought we'd do a strange news roundup. And I know
Yeah.
you got quite a few stories you've been looking forward to coming out with, and then maybe if we run into some time later, we'll talk briefly about the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, we could talk about Fantastic
Yeah,
Four, I guess, maybe at the end.
but I don't know if it's as important as the weird news. I just don't.
Well, Tim, I know people want news and they want it from a reliable source.
Yes.
And I think if that reliable source is us, we're doing just as good as anyone else. And we're going to give you the good news here. Like, there's no bad news, I think, in our what do you call it? In our newsroom, in Ryan and Tim's bullpen. It's
Yeah.
all really good stuff.
It's all harmless fun, except for when it was harmful to the people that were in it.
Yeah, and we don't know them, so that makes it okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
Why don't we start with the one that you used for the headline first?
Oh,
So
you want
the old
you want to
suitcase story.
come on with a bang. Okay, so this is the story that caught my eye, and I immediately had to text you this. The headline is Why Putin's Bodyguards Carried Poop Suitcase to Alaska Summit with Trump. So as everybody knows, we don't do politics on here, and I'm not going to talk politics. I know this has a very charged thing. There's a whole war going on. But in order to quell some of this war, he met up with that other guy, and they went to Alaska where nobody can go very easily. And they met and they had some talks or whatever, had dinner, maybe had some king crab. What do you eat in Alaska? King crab. And then when everything was said and done, he flew the short distance home. And then it got reported here that he had some bodyguards accompanying him, carrying around what was described in this article as a poop suitcase. So I'll just read you a little bit of this article here. So this is from firstpost.com, and there's other articles about it, but this is the one that kind of tickled my fancy. And here we go. Russian President Putin's bodyguards often make headlines for various reasons. This time it's for reportedly carrying his poop suitcases to the Alaska summit in the United States. His bodyguards gather his stool and take it back to Russia whenever he travels overseas. This is not the first time such reports have appeared about his poop suitcase. The French magazine Paris Match in 2022 reported the claim that the story in a story written by two senior investigative journalists. So what are they doing? They're collecting his poop. Why? So apparently this has become part of his routine because he does not want, or people don't want, anyone gathering his poop, checking his poop, and then finding out how much poop is in his poop. Anyway, I guess there's stuff in poop that'll tell you, how healthy a person is, what they are eating, what kind of stuff they do, where they've been. I guess this is why dogs sniff it a lot. They want to know where the other dogs have been, and they don't have a poop suitcase, so they just have to do it the old-fashioned way. So this begs kind of a question. So there's a couple things I want to talk about with this poop suitcase. Is number one, uh, how are they collecting this? And you and I kind of had like a little thing, and we had some big ideas about this.
What? And I thought of another one since then.
Okay, so my idea is that they had this sophisticated machine in the suitcase so that they would like deploy a vacuum cleaner hose and it would basically shop back up, little Putin and take it away and put it right in the suitcase into like a holding tank where it could then be taken back to the motherland and disposed of,
Oh
right?
yeah.
But you had a different idea, so describe yours.
Well, actually, I've had like 5 ideas now, but one of the ideas I had is you just take Putin out to the backyard, take him for a walk, and after he does his business, you just scoop it up in a doggy bag.
Hmm. Well,
But since then, I realized, that would make the most sense if you just picked up some kitty litter, you open the briefcase, right? You've got an instant litter box, and away you go.
well, okay, and you have one more. Give me your next best one. Your next
Oh,
best one.
the Amber Heard one? Yeah.
Okay, I know where you're going with this, and I like it.
Yeah. But then this leads to, because spies are always trying to go after the briefcases, right? They always want the briefcase. So they would assume there's something really good in this briefcase. So they get in the gun battle and they steal the shit briefcase instead of the secret document briefcase. So
Well, I think in this case, maybe if he had something internal to hide, some sort of medical condition or something like that, maybe the poop briefcase would be the most valuable one. So I'm going to tell you right now that okay, there's two things I like to talk about. Number one, you guys know this, it's movies. Number two, it's poop. I used to get in trouble when I was a kid for talking about this all the time. So I saw this one and I was like, wow, that's a opportunity to talk about poop. Let's do it. So I'll tell you the truth here is you're not that far off in what you're describing. So basically I had this high technology thing, and really all
oh
they're
yeah.
doing is they're having a guy, Christie's here solely for the title. Well, we aim to please here. It's the title is exactly what we're talking about. But yeah, so they basically, it's just like you said, they've got a guy and he's walking around and he picks up what the boss leaves. And that is including I think they're collecting his piss too. So uh heavy job, man. I'll tell you, Sergey, whatever your name is, you're really crushing it out there. You got the short straw in the KGB, if that's still a thing. I don't know. Whatever organization you work for, but sorry you lost that one, pal. Now, the second part to this, and this is the craziest thing, is I was looking through, I found this off Reddit, and then I found that, like I mentioned, this is not the first time this sort of method of collecting information about someone has been deployed. I found another article dated from 2012. Wouldn't you know, in Wastewater Digest, called "Spies in the Sewer" by Bob Ferguson. And wouldn't you know that there was an article in the May 7th issue of Time magazine about the capture and killing of Osama bin Laden, and the article was titled "How It Went Down." And one of the things that they did is they needed to confirm that he was at the location, so they hacked into the sewer lines, literally, got some poo, and that confirmed that that guy was there. So after
Hmm.
that, the rest was history. Now, coincidentally enough, and we have to give a shout out to the other Tim in my life, my brother-in-law. He is a big fan of this YouTube video called Smart Pipe. And if you've ever seen Adult Swim, they have this like it's a fake infomercial for something called Smart Pipe. The hook is that this company has made this little piece that you can attach on your toilet, and when your poo goes down there, it like gives it a quick gas spectrometer analysis, and it'll tell you
Mm.
exactly what they're doing here. It'll tell you your health, but it does this for everybody who uses it. So the hook for the company is there's this thing that keeps scrolling across the bottom of this video that's like uh, uh, the company SmartPipe is a registered sex offender. So, but it's a good video. Now, the second part to this is that apparently there's a documentary film out there called "The U.S. versus John Lennon," and at the height of his well, maybe not at the height of his fame, but at the height of his John Lennonness, President Richard Nixon was investigating him because he thought he was um, a communist and a spy and all this stuff. So he was gathering intelligence on John Lennon. And one of the intelligences he was gathering was he had some CIA guys go into the Dakota where John Lennon lived, and they hacked
Hmm.
into John Lennon's sewer pipe. And man, wouldn't you know, they had a suitcase on them
Mm.
as far
Interesting.
back. Yeah. So there have
So
been
Putin,
poop.
so Putin got this idea from somewhere else, is what you're saying, basically, potentially.
Yeah, yeah. It might have been, it might have been when he was doing his time in the KGB or whatever he did. He heard tell of Richard Nixon's poo gathering, and if they were doing it to John Lennon, they were doing it to Gorbachev too, and the guys before him, Khrushchev and all those other guys. So they're just uh, you know,
I don't
learning
know.
shit, learning shit about everybody. Now, anyway, that's what I got for the poo,
Okay.
and
Well, I
that's
think we
it.
beat that. We probably beat that one to death.
Yeah, stomped it down the drain.
Okay, let's just do this one real quick.
I want to hear what you got.
Yeah. Stressed adults rely on pacifiers to soothe themselves. They feel a sense of safety from childhood. And this
Mm.
is apparently thousands of people in China, adults in China, mostly guys. And they'll use them at work. I just can't picture it. Well, I can picture it, but
Uh,
I don't know.
well, that being said, how stressed are these guys? I mean,
I don't know. Don't they realize that this will twist their teeth out though?
well, that's the thing. Like, you got to take
And they'll
that
need
thing away
braces
because,
later.
yeah, you would you would push your palate up there. It can't be a good thing for an adult to do. Now,
And
um,
then if you spit it out of your cubicle, does somebody have to go get it for you? Do they have to clean it after it touches the floor?
man, I'll tell you, if
All the,
someone spits one of those things out on the floor, they're getting them themselves. I'm not helping you with that one. Now, how do you relieve stress at work, Tim?
well, that's definitely not it. I like to go for a quick walk, actually. That's what I do.
Yeah, yeah,
So
that's about what I do too. Um, that or I bag up my poo.
yeah, bag your poo. Well, I don't do that for sure.
No, I don't
Okay,
do
what do
that
you got?
either.
What do you got next?
Okay, the next one that caught my eye was there's a new sport in town. So now, are you a sports guy, Tim?
Not really.
What was the last sporting event you've been to?
Blue Jays.
Blue
Stan.
Jays? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this next sport has something to do with BJ's. It is sperm racing. So if you can go to spermracing.com, I found this sport. It's fairly new. I mean, they made an announcement around April 25th, and they have a website, and it is a sport. There's rules. There's oversight. There's spectacle to it. All the things that normal sports have. So the gist of this, and I'm looking at their X page here,
Oh yeah.
is that how it works is you get two people with sperms, right? They make they donate some athletes.
Yeah. People as identifying as as sperm donors.
Yeah, yeah. So they toss their athletes out there, right? They're collected. Now an organization sifts through and you make basically like a starting lineup, right? So they go through and they find all the ones that aren't doing so hot. They're not swimming around. They just you know, the free agents, they take
Lazy boys. Yeah.
yeah, they take those guys out. They're out of the mix. They take the lively ones, right? There's a draft. So so once they have the draft done of these two people, then what they do is they basically put these guys into a 3D, or sorry, it's not a 3D printed, but it's just like a stamped kind of track, very
Oh yeah.
small, microscopic, and then they watch this through a microscope, and then they beam the results out onto like a 3D sort of track, like it looks like a racetrack, right? So you kind of have these
Okay.
little sperms and they're swimming through this little racetrack or whatever. And when they get to the end, whoever gets to the end, they win. So uh, it has, it's something. Now, I'm looking at their website right now, and they have a big red button here, Tim. And you know what it says?
What does it say?
Race. It says race at home. So I'm looking at this. I'm gonna see where this goes. I'm clicking it right now. Okay, early access. So the first thing it says is, oh man, coming soon. Race at home, race at home, early access. Compete with your health in the most entertaining way.
Oh yeah.
So I guess anybody can go.
Anybody can
Uh,
get in on this, eh?
anybody can get in on this. Um, get in there, pal.
Fantasy
You could
sperm racing.
be a winner. Maybe you were coming up last at baseball, or you know, bringing up the tail end in hockey,
I
but you
think you
might
could
be,
probably train for this, right? You change your diet, your exercise. You could literally train for this.
um, yeah, I mean, there's all these guys that went out there and got vasectomies right now, and they're sad because they
They
can't
can't get in on
participate.
this. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, they could. I mean, it's just going to take a lot of doing. Like, you're going to have to sell the team. You're going to have to move down to Oakland.
Can
Uh,
you imagine? Can you imagine if you lost your entire check betting on the sperm races?
yeah, I mean, uh, how would you describe this to your wife? You get home and you're like, the kids aren't going to college. Uh, I was betting, and then it's like, what were you betting on? And then it all comes out. I mean, I think that's a fast track for a divorce if I've ever heard one.
It could
This
be.
is all.
So I don't even want to know what tail ends that Christie's talking about there.
Oh, I
You
just
shouldn't.
mentioned, you're coming up the tail end in hockey, so you're catching on
Oh
to my
yeah.
puns. They're working. This is all by design. But
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
so
moving on. How about we move on to another one?
let's
Or
go.
do you got more on that one?
No, that's all I got for this firm thing.
Okay. Well, this one's kind of related. Man with world's largest willy slips, breaks arm in shower because giant penis got in the way. It was a
I know.
very embarrassing accident.
I know. My cast just came off.
There's a picture of the guy here. He doesn't look like he'd be the one with the largest. I'm just saying. He looks kind of,
No,
you know, he looks like he'd be wearing a white coat and maybe doing experiments on somebody in a facility or something. That's the kind of guy he looks like. But yeah,
is that right?
14.5 inches long. Biggest medically proven penis in the world.
Jesus,
So I could
I don't
see
want to think
slipping
about.
on that. Yeah, that would be that would be a life wrecker, really. Think of all the things you couldn't do.
Well, I'll
Like
tell you what. Like, if he was
wear
going to be in the
pants.
sperm races, if that guy was going to be in the sperm races, all his sperms would be tired before they started.
It's true.
They got a long way to get out. You know. Oh shit, swimming again. I don't know. So how? So he broke his arm, and he broke it in slipping.
He slipped in the shower. I don't know. Uh Apparently he slipped on some shower gel because his view was blocked
Hmm.
and he couldn't see it.
Shower gel with air quotes. Shower
Yeah.
gel. Yeah, I couldn't see it. Why it's the same color as my tub? Oh,
No, he couldn't see it because something was blocking his view. Something large.
oh yeah, yeah.
Sounds like a stretch, but
It sounds like a stretch. Oh my god. Okay, so we got a couple more here. We're doing all right. We're doing all right here. Um, I think people are going to enjoy this. Christy's saying she doesn't know why we don't have as many fans. That's a great question. I think we should have millions, but we'll get there eventually. Um, you know what I think we got to do? I think we got to find maybe an anonymous participant that we can sponsor for the sperm race and take him through. Take this fine athlete through. We are on YouTube, Christy. We have a Reliable Narrators YouTube page. We're on there. Yeah, we just started it. It's like 4 weeks old. Like and subscribe, all that stuff. We're supposed to say that, right? We're supposed to promote ourselves. Maybe we'll do it at the end or the beginning. We should do it at the
maybe.
beginning.
Well,
Everyone
that's the whole
listens to the
point. That's the
beginning.
whole point of sperming the sperm racer, right? So that he can promote us.
Yeah, son of a bitch. We're terrible at
Oh,
this.
sorry. I didn't mean to say he. I mean the person who has sperm.
Yeah. I mean, it could be like, a giraffe running down the street with it in his giraffe hand. He's got it, man. If possession is 9/10 of the law. Okay, so now I've got this one. So here's some things. This is a good one. A show inside of a cathedral, place of Catholic worship, featured raw chickens in diapers. The German president was in the audience. So this took place in Berlin, Germany. The show is called Westphalia Side Story, and part of a May 15th celebration is to mark the 1250th anniversary of Westphalia region in northwestern Germany. So the video shows one woman and two shirtless men singing "Fleisch ist Fleisch," which means meat is meat. Apparently spoofing an Austrian band Opus's 1984 pop song "Live is Life."
Yep, life
Uh,
is life.
you know the song?
I do. They were a
Really?
one-hit wonder. It was like a live song. It was on the radio quite a bit.
Look at you're a man of culture listening to Austrian music.
Well, it was on the radio in Red Deer. So
Yeah, I just the Austrian painters, they're not so they're not so it's not very good to like them, I guess. Okay, so so uh it caused an uproar being that it was in a church. So the part that I liked is this show is getting put into a big cultural event. So this is like taxpayer funded now, right? So
oh yeah.
your chickens in diapers, sorry Germany, but you're paying for that. I mean, we pay for all kinds of nut stuff too. Why shouldn't you? Um, and I've got my next most sensational one would be I like this one. This one I like. Okay. You know, now two things here. We've talked about poop, we've talked about sperms, and now we're talking down under, Tim. We're going down to Australia,
Oh yeah.
where a woman admitted to trying to sell human toes that were regurgitated by dogs. Now everyone likes dogs. So now my gathering of this story, my understanding of this is that she had these dogs. She found them at an animal shelter. They were rescue dogs. The owner had died, and the dogs had turned parts of the owner into kibble. So they went to town on the dead owner, and when they got into the animal shelter where she worked, they started barfing. Some toes came out, and her first thought was, right, I wonder if I could sell those. I don't know if that's a good Australian accent or not, but that was the first thing that popped into her head, right? Now,
There's a big
you know,
market for toes, right?
what's that market?
I don't know. I can't imagine that there is.
Now, The only market I could think of for toes, like if you wanted to sell a toe, would be to there's a bar in I want to say the Northwest Territories. Is Yellowknife? Yeah, Yellowknife. It's up there, and they have a
Yep.
severed toe in a thing. Or you could sell it on OnlyFans. You could have severed
OnlyFans
toes.
or the dark
Yeah,
web.
I mean, you got to have something to inspire you when you're trying to compete for the sperm races, right? So severed toes on OnlyFans. Not everybody likes the stuff, the normal OnlyFans stuff. So maybe there's I don't know. There's a guy he just wants to compete too, and his thing is severed toes.
Hmm.
Man, this is
I don't
getting
know.
weird.
That one's pretty weird. You want
We
another
really didn't
Australian
think
one
this
there?
through. Yeah, of course I do.
Okay. Well, this one is some lady in Australia again. Death cap mushroom trial: how murder plot unfolded and how killer tried to cover her tracks. So this lady, she was found guilty of the murder of her parents-in-law and an aunt who died days after she served them with beef Wellington for lunch. The thing is, she had invited her estranged husband because he was actually the target, but he didn't show up. So she just proceeded with the plan, and she tried to off all these her parents-in-law. You know, I guess, well, might as well go for it. She's already got the food made, and so death caps, they're pretty dangerous, and they actually grow in right directly in Vancouver on in between sidewalk block bricks. They've been found
Oh,
right in Vancouver. It only takes one. If you mistakenly eat the wrong kind of mushroom, you die fairly soon. Like it takes a couple days, I think, and your totally destroys your liver, and then that's it. I think it's your liver. I remember reading about them before. So yeah, you just don't. But apparently, they taste pretty good. In beef Wellington. So yeah. Anyways, Mr. Patterson, who chose not to show up that day, said that he thought she had previously tried to poison him on three separate incidences, and that was why he didn't go. So,
dear God. Okay, so this isn't a great idea for anyone thinking of eating in these mushrooms. So it takes way too long to get the job done.
oh yeah, it's not an easy death, I don't think.
Like, you hear death cap mushrooms and you're like, oh man, that's got to be quick. But 2 days, like,
Yeah,
those aren't good
not
days,
not
man.
not good. No, hopefully they
No,
can
these
knock you out for those last 2 days.
these are like asshole mushrooms, man.
Yeah,
You feed these to someone, you're a real asshole. You want them,
yeah.
like, they are not mercy mushrooms.
No, no, they don't. It just doesn't put their lights out. That's for sure. So
No. Well, that's pretty mean. Like, mean thing to do. You really got to hate someone, I think, for the death cap mushrooms. What happened with just like blowing up someone's car?
yeah, yeah.
Those
Or
were the days.
yeah, we won't even go into all the ways you could potentially kill somebody.
No, and we don't
There's
advocate for
several.
this at
There's
all.
several. Let's just say there's more than one way.
For legal purposes, we don't advocate for any of this
Yeah.
stuff, but just
Yeah, exactly.
be a normal guy. Don't use the death cap mushroom. That's mean.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I have one left, but it's really dumb and I don't want to read it. It's about hockey here. So I think we've cooked this thing to death here.
I've got
Um,
one more that's kind of interesting.
okay, I want to hear it.
Firefighters rescue man wedged inside playground tube slide. So it's one of those big plastic tubes, that goes around in a spiral.
Yeah.
They got a picture of it here. Just a regular sized slide. And my first thought when I saw the size of the slide was, how big was this guy? But that's not at all what happened. Somehow he tried to go head and feet first at the same time. And when it came to the corner, that was the end. So this is a big warning to everybody out there who's thinking about going down one of these slides. Go head first, go feet first, but do not go head and feet first, because if you're an adult, you may get stuck in that curve, which is exactly what happened. So they had to take the slide apart to get him out. And then he refused to go to emergency, basically just bolted for it after they got him out. He was only in there for half an hour. But if you think about being bent over on that curve for a half hour, he was 40 years old. if he a 40-year-old might be able to recover after this, but a 50-year-old bent in half for half an hour like that, you are going to be in some world of hurt for quite some days.
You know what I see,
Yeah.
Tim? I see two Russian guys waiting with a big black garbage bag at the bottom of that slide for when he finally comes out. They just take him away,
Could
so that
be.
no, he doesn't do yoga. Yeah. This guy's not doing yoga. He did do yoga. This guy did do yoga.
You did a
But
half
it
hour of
was
tube yoga.
he did all the yoga right there. All of it. How much yoga do you want, buddy? All of it right now on this water slide. Let's go.
Yeah.
Uh, all right. That's our weird news roundup. We always like doing the weird news roundup. I like the weird news roundup.
Yeah.
We can't
It's
do it
fun.
all the time, but but when we
Oh,
do
once a
do
month.
it,
We could do it once a month. We just haven't.
yeah, you got to let the weird news build up. I mean,
Yeah, that's
I
true.
think we really missed the boat with the couple that got caught at the Coldplay concert. There was a lot of
Yeah.
fun that came out of that. I really enjoyed all those memes. There were some good ones. There was some really wild shit came out of that. That was fun, but we missed the boat on that, so we had to catch up. And I think we did all right. You know, um, the giant wiener guy. Uh, I'm gonna have weird dreams tonight now. Really weird dreams. But
Yeah.
it's all my fault. Uh, I think I suggested this, so I got nobody to blame but myself. Now, okay, you mentioned you've been to some movies. What have you seen, man?
Well, I went to Fantastic Four by myself.
By
And
yourself?
yeah, well, you know how it is. Work night, away from home. That one wasn't, I don't know, it was okay. I wasn't just super overwhelmed by it or anything. But we did go see what was it called now? I'm drawing a blank. Nobody 2,
Oh yeah.
which is an action flick, and that one was really good. I liked that. Way more than the Fantastic Four.
Oh, is that
So
right?
I don't know if you've seen Nobody or Nobody 2.
I did see Nobody, and I'm interested in seeing Nobody too. It looks all right. It might be on my list. I don't know if I'll go to the theater, but I'll wait until it comes on VOD or whatever, and
Oh
then
yeah.
and then I might go see it. I also saw Fantastic Four, and I kind of got the same sense that you did. I was like kind of just whelmed. I mean, um, it felt to me like they were really scared of making a mistake, so they just kind of like flattened everything at a
Yeah.
medium level. It never really had any big high spots. It never had any really big low spots. And there was some great stuff in there. Like I really liked that Silver Surfer. Um, she was great. I wasn't really sold on the concept when they announced that they were going to do the whole gender swap Silver Surfer thing, but she did win me over. I thought it was a really cool take on the character, and I think her voice made it a little bit eerier and creepier when she shows up and
Yeah.
says what she's going to do and all that stuff. And seeing Galactus was the highlight of the movie. The 15, 20 minutes he got at Galactus was amazing. And there was a great chase scene.
There was.
So I'm
So
trying to,
I don't know. Let's talk about gender swaps for a minute. So is there really any point in these gender swaps in these movies? Like what are they accomplishing?
I
Are they
don't,
improving anything? Because I don't really feel that they are.
there's been some out there. And I think sometimes, like there was one with one character in Dune in the first movie where they swapped the character out who was, the character was played by Max von Sydow in the David Lynch version, and
Mhm.
it was played. I can't remember her name, but it was. I thought it was okay. I mean, that one's got like not a whole lot of lady characters in it anyway, and she served the purpose of the character just fine. I mean, the same thing happens. Spoiler alert for Dune, if anyone's listening, is that that character shows up and is kind of a puppet for something, and then dies. So she did what the character does in the book. So it wasn't a huge deal. I think the bigger ones are more egregious, like or they can be. Um, if it goes one way or the other. So it's, I don't know, it's just kind of like the whole Ghostbusters movie was all the Ghostbusters characters, but
Yeah.
it wasn't really like they swapped them. They were playing different characters. It just
Yeah. It
didn't
was like
land
a,
with people.
yeah.
And I don't know, there's not a whole lot that's really bothered me.
It,
I mean,
I think it's a lot like when they came up with Pepsi Clear, which tasted weird. But the thing is, no one wanted that.
no.
That's
Man,
the
I
problem,
remember
is that
those
the audience
commercials
doesn't
though.
want those things. The audience doesn't really go, it'd be really cool if we gender swapped Superman. Like nobody's out there doing that. Nobody wants that. That's the problem. But in these movie companies, they're always thinking, what if we made the Little Mermaid, you know, not white? Or like they're always doing that, and they're just not, I don't know. I'm not saying that they have to buckle and pander to the audience,
No,
but they
I
are a
think, well,
business.
I think when there's something like, I think people are fine. Like, you and I, we just talked about Sinners, I think, was one of the last shows we did, and people are fine with getting or experiencing, stuff from a different cultural point of view or a
Yep.
different, gender's point of view or whatever, right? I mean, that's part of being human and being you know, what do you call it, an empathic person. But at the end of the day, that at the root of these decisions is people are trying to capture new audiences. And when it comes to superhero movies, I think, and you and I didn't want to talk about this, but maybe we'll touch on it a bit, is that if you don't have that core audience when you make a superhero movie, which is, who reads the comic books, who knows the material, it's dorks like us, right? And there's, ladies in the mix that read these comics too, but not as many. And um, wouldn't you know, a lot of those people just like the thing that they like to be the thing that they like. It's kind of like another example of this that's a little bit less inflammatory is when you watch the first X-Men movies from 2000 or whatever, and all the X-Men show up in their suits, and instead of having the comic accurate, yellow spandex suits, they got these like weird leather fetish gear shit on, like because everyone just watched The Matrix and you have to have the weird leather fetish shit, right? So that's one of the ones that they just explained it away with a stupid line of dialogue. And the thing about it was is that you and I were happy we were getting an X-Men movie, but it was just not the X-Men that we wanted, and
Yeah.
that wasn't the only thing. It was they took liberties with the story, they took liberties with the characters. Um, they created backstories for people that weren't really a thing, and they removed elements from the story and rushed some of them along, right? So I mean, when you see, like, now we kind of have like a clearer picture. We just saw a movie last year that made all kinds of money where all they had to do, it was a shit movie, but what they did is they put the Wolverine in his yellow and blue spandex costume and everyone went frickin' wild, right? So I don't know. It just goes to show you. I think this stuff's in people's heads already, and when you see a version of it that is unfamiliar to you, I don't think
Yeah.
everyone's necessarily going to reject it. It depends on how it's done and what the purpose is for it. But yeah, it's kind of funky. I don't know.
I
It just
I don't know. It goes beyond that though. It's like, what if, they get together in a few weeks and they're like, hey, that Sinners movie was great. What if we do it with white people? It
yeah.
just
I don't
doesn't.
know. Let's be honest. That's never going to happen. But
But it's like they're to, that's the same kind of decisions.
and they
That's
did that already. It was from Dusk Till Dawn. So
yeah.
it
Yeah, I
didn't
know,
have
but
as cool of a music. But yeah. It's just one of those things. I don't know. I think it's okay in some. It just depends on how it's done. Really, it's just like anything. If
mhm.
a good movie is a good movie and a good decision is a good decision, and I know that there's lots of people trying to score sort of points for doing this or that or the other thing, and eventually, I think people, in general, like people are individually know what they want, and eventually will stop spending money on the things that they don't want because they've been fooled before, and that's kind of happening right now. I mean, we've had a string of Marvel movies that haven't been that successful, and people are kind of just going, well, I don't know, the last one was shit. So I don't know if I'm going to go see this one again. And all the people who uh, normally would have gone, I just talked to a lady who I know went to see all the Avengers movies and everything like that. She's not interested in any of the superhero stuff anymore. She's just like, I'm done. I'm out. I've had enough. They're all crap now. So, um, and I was at the theater and saw this lady cheering for the Avengers. Everyone was standing up at their favorite part. She was one of them. So I know she has an enthusiasm for it, but she doesn't have that back history of reading the comic books, and she doesn't really give a shit that much. So why would she care about something that isn't giving her something enjoyable, right? So
Mhm.
yeah, that's where they're sitting with those. Make some good movies, man. I mean, I think there was a good movie in the Fantastic Four, but it certainly didn't swing for the fences. That's it. And people want that. I mean, I just went to see the movie Weapons, which is it's got all the Marvel people in it. You got Thanos, you got the Silver Surfer, you've got Wong, and you got the guy who's just recently the villain in Ironheart. So
But
everybody
in
in
this
there.
movie, they're not superheroes though. Just
No, they're
to
not
be clear,
superheroes. It's not a
it's
superhero
an
movie,
entirely different thing. Yeah.
but it's a good movie, and all those people are in that movie, and they all do a great job. The story's pretty damn good. The atmosphere of the movie's pretty good. The writing's pretty good, and it's got like kind of a mystery and something to say about it. So
Really.
yeah, that one's crushing it right now. And if you look at like a measure of success, people look at box office things, and I don't know why that's the measure of success for something. But when you look at the Marvel movies or a superhero movie, they used to get $1 billion. They'd come out, they get $1 billion. Now they're getting, like, if they're lucky, if they get 500 million or 600
Mhm.
million, right? Which was 5 or 6 years ago unheard of. Like, these things would just come out and just smash it. But when you
So
look
that's
at the
called Weapons.
probability,
That one.
yeah, Weapons. It's the talk of the town. I think it's been number one a couple weeks in a row here, and it's worth seeing in the theater. It's a great experience too.
Mm.
Scary movies are fun to see in the theater, and they don't cost very much to make. They give you like a big thrill. They stay in your brain for forever, and people tend to rewatch them a lot. So I think people are gravitating more towards that just because they know that they're good and they don't know what they're getting. Like, it's a surprise all the time, and you can do whatever you want in that. You can have a whoever you want in the movie. You can have whatever kind of person you want in the movie, and it'll still be
Mhm.
entertaining. It'll still be good, and you don't have to do any of that tricky bullshit. So yeah, I don't know. It's pretty wild out there, wild stuff. But we're gonna hang out next week, I think, in person. So I don't know if we'll have time to do an in-person podcast or whatever, but uh,
Oh, we might. We
could
might.
be fun. I don't know. I'll be on a. Uh, I always get what do you call it? Phantom bed syndrome when I go to these places. Like I
Phantom bed
can't.
syndrome.
Yeah, I can't sleep because it's not my bed, so I just lay there for like hours and hours, not sleeping. And
Mm.
I don't know. It's going to be a bad time, I think. No, it won't. It'll be fine. I know I'm going to get that. So, but on the bright side, I've been doing a lot of traveling lately for work. So, Tim, I got to tell you this: you're looking at a platinum member
Oh,
of a
really?
hotel, yeah, of the hotel rewards club. So, I really earned my.
Does that mean that you get special breakfast, or what does it give you?
This one here, they hand me a cookie when I walk in and give me like extra 3 seconds of eye contact.
Okay. Well, that's
I
not bad.
asked I asked them to stop doing it because it was really weird. It was freaking me out.
Do they give you a special parking spot?
No, no,
No.
you get
Okay.
nothing. Like, I mean, it's just kind of a pittance. It's a cookie and eye
Mm.
contact. I mean, I think if you get beyond the platinum, like if you get the onyx level, I think you get a hug. But I don't want that either. I'm not a hugger. So I don't know. I just maybe I'll get a free room one day. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, but it's a lot of travel. But yeah,
Okay. Well,
so we'll hang out next week, and you know what we should do, Tim? I kind of feel like this is taking a natural wind down. Like, we get to
yes.
the end, we can all sing that killer song. We can't play it because our videos will get taken down now. Uh, but yeah, we hope you enjoyed your stay.
Yeah,
And
I
it's been
don't
a
know that
slice.
song.
No,
It
you
has
haven't
been a
heard that one?
slice. No.
Yeah. And we're gonna okay,
I-
before we go though, we're gonna say we have a YouTube channel now, which you can find our stuff there. It's Reliable Narrators uh podcast on YouTube. And again, you can find us on the Substack. You might be listening to that Apple podcasts, but all this stuff, like a lot of people are like, I don't like Apple and I don't like Spotify, and they're like, why don't you get a YouTube channel? And I was just like, gee, why don't you fucking stop telling me what to do? And eventually, we just got the YouTube channel because I think people like that one. Everyone's got access to it, and you can listen to it for nothing, and you don't have to download some special app or have a special phone. So it's kind of cool, and I haven't really been putting the video versions of these up. I just kind of been putting up the audio versions, but I guess maybe we could put up the video versions. Uh, um, yeah, I
Well, if they want to
guess
see, if you want to watch the video version, you can go to YouTube at Reliable Narrator. Yeah, or not YouTube, sorry, Substack. It'll be on
Substack.
Substack. Yeah.
Yeah, and also, if you want to find me, give me a follow. I'm on Letterboxd. I write movie reviews. My handle on there is called That Ryan Guy. So if you go on there and see a review, I try and review every movie that I watch. I'm typically pretty good at it. Not good at it, but I'm good at getting it done.
So
Uh,
what you should do after we're done talking here is you should text me all of the links for all these things or email them to me, and then I'll put them in the Substack post, and then they could just go to Substack and they could click on your letterbox profile
yeah, why not?
there, and it'd be all like handy and easy, and they wouldn't have to even like type or think.
Yeah, like my stuff, man. Like it. It's fun. I write funny shit. If you like this, if you got grossed out by this podcast, don't go there because it's all the same stuff. I talk about poop a lot less, but it's all there. It's fun. Every movie I watched, I'm at like 2100 now or something. It's wild.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just keep watching. I'm running out of good movies to watch. I'm actually thinking of watching one here next week called Dick Shark.
Oh, yeah.
And you can guess what
The
that's
old
about.
Dick
I've tried.
Shark.
Yeah, it's not a porno. Okay, but I went and I found where to watch it. It's not even a reputable website, and I went and I turned it on one day, and just as I was watching the first 5 minutes of it, I saw the garage door open, and my wife was coming home, and I was like, I got to shut this off because there's no way I'm going to be able to convince her that I'm not just sitting here on my day off watching some smut, right? And I guess it is. Like it's just not a good movie. This guy that I know, he's him and I have like a bad movie. Have we talked about this? Like we have a bad movie. We always see who could find a worse movie, and he's recommended a few to me, and then I've recommended a few to him, and they're all like really bad movies, like just terrible things that no one in the right mind would watch. So every once in a while, I'll throw one of these on. But the thing with Dick Shark, Tim, guess what? Okay, how long do you think a movie like Dick Shark would be?
76 minutes.
Yeah, you'd think it'd be a nice short one. Tim, Dick Shark is 3 hours and 2 minutes.
Really? How can it be so long? Did they forget to edit it?
I don't know. Maybe it fell down in the shower. I think that's it. I'm
Oh,
done.
okay. That's it. We're going.
Oh, we got to get out of here, man. It's
Yeah.
getting weird.
Yeah.
Okay, Tim, it's
It's,
been a slice.
yeah. It's been a slice. Talk to
All
you
right,
later.
talk to you later. Poop, 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 suitcase. Poop, 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 suitcase. Poop, 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 suitcase. Poop, 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 suitcase. Poop, 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 suitcase. Poop, 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 suitcase. Poop, 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 suitcase. Poop, 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 suitcase. Poop, 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 suitcase.